Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble news channel. Bitcoin falls to about 20%. Since the beginning of Bitcoin, every time it's been here, it's basically gone up by between 70 and 200%. This is what Solana means by volatility down at 50%. Anytime it gets there, it goes up a lot. For some reason, it seems really close. That lovely wedge design came off the bottom, so it did bounce. Today isn't very strong in Solana for no good reason, and it looks like the next step is, the banana's getting ripe. Real Vision's co-founder Raoul thinks that Bitcoin and Solana will go up a lot in the next few years because of the way the markets are moving. Powell recently talked on podcasts about his optimistic view, which was based on how both coins have performed in the past. He found a trend in the way Bitcoin's market behaves, noticing that when Bitcoin's volatility drops to about 20%, it usually leads to big price increases of 70% to 200%. This shows that there is a pattern where periods of low volatility often come before big price increases in Bitcoin. Powell found a similar trend in how Solana behaved in the market. He said that Solana usually sees a drop in volatility to about 50%, followed by big increases. Solana recently showed a bounce off of a wedge pattern in technical analysis, which could mean that its upward trend will end or continue. Powell's positive view of Solana's future success is strengthened by this technical signal. Powell's research shows how important it is to understand market cycles and technical signs when trying to guess how cryptocurrencies will move. His ideas help investors make sense of the unstable crypto world by showing them possible chances based on patterns in the past and technical signals. I believe the stabilization phase is over. It happens a lot around the time of half, during election time. It usually ends in July or August, and it generally does this. It's also important to remember that FedNet cash drops at the end of every quarter. Folks, that's how banks will hide their balance books. It was very clear that FedNet funding was going down. The last day should be today, and then it opens up again. Even though it's pretty clear ahead of time, it's possible that that will also affect properties. Based on how the prices are set and how everything looks, I think we hit the bottom. Our lowest point was 118 in April, just below 120. After that, we went up, then back down, making this wedge-shaped pattern. We'll probably just go up from here on out. This is something I wrote about in Global Macro Investor a few months ago. My opinion is the same as Arthur's, who also subscribes to GAME. I believe that the BOJ is getting us ready for a great show of tricks. They are very good at what they do at BOJ. They have been messing with the FX markets for a long time, and everyone who tries to stop them loses money. I think they are sucking in the last spot right now. The Chinese also need money. The market for Eurodollars is the banks in Japan. The most important people in the Eurodollar market right now are those two. The point is that they don't have enough money. The US will give them an endless line of things they can do to help somewhere. That money will flow back through the banks and into bonds and to China, which needs dollars very badly. The Fed does not want them to have a straight line to cash. The Fed cut would be the best way for there to be a sudden, shocking increase in cash. Japanese step in. Everyone would be destroyed. I have seen the Japanese do this many times. They usually do it with the Fed's okay because it gets them the most for their money. In the past 2 years, Yellen has been to China twice. It is said that Yellen sells more trash bonds than anyone else in the world. This generation's Mike Milken. The Chinese say, we don't have any dollars to buy your bonds because she used to sell those bonds. Simple maths is needed to solve it. Let's figure this out. It's like, what can we do to get you dollars so that you can pay off your property developers and everyone else's dollar interest bills and then put the money back into treasuries? This one looks like it came from Japan. Basically, the market is stuck and the dollar will go back up to 200 or 300. Seriously, it's falling apart. They no longer have power. That's where the story is now, and people are expecting help to come soon. They're looking forward to it. What matters most is how big the action is. If they go big, it shows they have support. After that, you'll see it, whether it's through the swap lines, the foreign central bank reverse repo, or some other method. Also, don't forget that they often try to hide the processes. That's what I suggest. The size is what matters. If we wake up one day and Dolly is down 1.5% when we get in, and it happens again the next day, it's on. That's just a huge amount of money coming into the system from the Japanese. There is split and RSI. Everything is adding up. The Bank of Japan does use technical research. They're also pretty good at this kind of thing. Let us check it out. The dollar is too weak and I feel like I'm back in 1998. What did it do between 97 and 98? It was one of the biggest deals the world has ever seen. Everyone was long the dollar and the yen. The Japanese got involved. Yeah, it's not a big deal, says everyone. After that, the whole thing fell apart. Except for Paul Tudor Jones, who was in charge of Tiger Management, all of these guys got sucked in. The other thing we need to think about is that after last night's debate, it's clear that Biden will be replaced very soon. Who is that going to be, and how will that change the way we play? Newsom seems to be the one being set up, but who the hell knows? Possibly anything. Newsom is from California, so he is probably more pro-tech in a deeper way. I believe that the Biden government helped all of the big tech founders get along with Trump, which is pretty amazing. They used to vote for Democrats, but now they're all on the other side. Newsom might be able to stop them after all. It was Newsom who set up for Xi to meet them in California. Whatever. That's a different story. That's exactly what we need. If all goes well, the movie I'm making today will just show all the reasons I think the trade is on. It's really easy to see the Solana Bitcoin chart. Beautiful stair-step consolidation. A similar story can be told about ETH. Again, they all landed at the base of the wedge triangle channel. It gets higher for all of the relative continuing patterns. If it does, Solana is going to make another big showing. I believe that if the space is to become liquid, the further out the risk curve goes, the more Solana has all the stories and a huge amount of support. Unfortunately, Fire Dancer is still not available. There is a lot here. I believe it will be very hard to beat Solana this time around. Just really hard. It will be hard for ETH to beat the story and energy that's currently behind Solana, even if it does find a huge use case. Global liquidity has stayed the same. We can see that there is no new cash. The economy hasn't really turned around yet. That means either money isn't being put back into the business or people aren't making money. You're currently stranded in this empty space. That one will be the ETF next. A lot of new money will come into crypto land. Once that money is ready, we can all have fun with it. It's pretty much the same. We need to visualize that this is a market in crypto land. Our economy needs foreign direct investment (FDI) or even hot money flows to grow. Whatever happens, we need more money to come in. Around summer, the cash cycle is over. It reaches its peak. The crypto market most of the time doesn't reach its peak until the end of the year. Could it reach its highest point earlier? I have no idea, and I don't wish to play for that. We don't need rate cuts for this issue. It is cash that makes it happen. Cuts in interest rates are just a delay on cash that happened a long time ago. The big rate increase happened between 1994 and 1995. Bond buyers went crazy. No one doubted that the economy would get worse. It didn't rain so much. The Federal Reserve cut rates by 25 basis points, then by 50 basis points. They were still a lot higher than the lowest rate in 1993. No action from the Federal Reserve until 1998, when the Asian crisis happened. That was the best result for that time period in the history of the market. It's fine for me as long as there's funding, thank you. Everything we've written about the future just says that the business cycle will get better from here on out. There is noise that sounds like it's being chopped up. We should expect things to get better as macro summer approaches. It doesn't need to drop. Nothing needs to be done. This is one of the longest lengths of time